You want to try it or no?
I'm the worst at these intros. He's so much better at them, but I'll go for it.
All right, do it.
I always get so nervous. That's the only part that I get nervous on. We've done like 70 of these things. All right, ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Go ahead.
All right. Welcome back to the Marathon Mortgage Podcast. This is...
All right, I got it. I have to remember its age.
Take two.
All right, you want to do it again?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Welcome back to the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour Podcast. My name is Rory Farrell.
I'm Mike Witzak.
We have a special guest here today.
Gaeta.
All right, man. There it is. Sound drop.
Great job, Rory.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you guys
we
for
appreciate
having me
it.
here.
Coming all the way up here. So, first, we'll start into the beer. We always start with the beer. We'll get into you. We'll get into your past and all that stuff. But we always start with the beer. Just kind of ease the tension, really ease into this happy hour. So today we're going to do Dogfish Head out of Delaware.
Okay.
Is one that my mom loves. And I specifically got it from Mike because he's watching his calories these days.
Yeah, watching my hourglass figure.
Which is tough with a podcast where we're supposed to drink beer.
Yeah.
This is called Slightly Mighty. It's a light IPA, a light India Pale Ale, 95 calories.
Ooh,
not bad.
Nice.
And 4% alcohol by volume. And it's made with monk fruit extract.
Ooh,
So we'll see
some
how it
monk
goes.
fruit.
Yeah.
You know what monk fruit is? It's just like an alternate sweetener.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what monk fruit is. Yeah,
There you go. Jared?
Thank you.
There you go. Mike,
that's probably why it's so low in calories. Yeah.
give it a little bit of that sweetness.
The fact that I know something
at the
that's
beach.
The fact I know something that's in a beer that you don't know about is like that's a
Yeah.
win for me today.
He's usually like the Corona, like
Oh yeah.
High Life. What else do you like? Not High Life.
I like spirits actually.
Shut up. You
Yeah,
didn't even know
yeah.
what spirits were like
A couple months ago. Yeah.
I'm not the biggest drinker, but when I do like the Trulies and seltzer.
Yeah, they're all right. I'm really honestly like if I'm out drinking, it's either tequila or rum is what I drink. That's like what
I like a good old fashioned Di Serrano.
Okay.
I get made fun of a lot
Di
for being
Serrano,
a good man,
Italiano.
but
That's good.
It's pretty
Okay.
good.
Yeah, not bad.
All
Cheers.
right. Well, cheers. Thank you for coming
Cheers.
on.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that's good.
Light, easy drinking.
Yeah.
It's a good
Yeah,
beach
easy.
beer. My mom's been drinking these a bunch. So, all right. Shout out to Tommy. Thanks for the rec.
Yeah.
That's my mom. All right, cool. Let's get into Jared here. So, you have an interesting backstory. I'm always interested in where realtors come from. How did you get into this? Not many people go into it like right after high school. So it's like there's always a little bit of a backstory. Right. So, why don't we take it back to the beginning? You said Navy. You worked at schools.
All
right,
right, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, let's
here.
talk about it.
So I was in the Navy 7 days out of high school graduation.
Wow.
I went to the submarine fleet. I did about 2 years of service there. I was stationed in Pearl Harbor. It was pretty cool.
Oh wow.
Came out and I became a tile setter. I was in the union. And I ended up doing that for 8-10 years, and then I blew my back out.
I heard you told me about that.
I've had 3 back surgeries, and I was on disability for 8 years. And you're not allowed to work when you're on disability, so I just started volunteering at my kids' school. They were really young at the time, so started volunteering there. And two of the principals came up and said, "Hey, you're pretty good with kids. Why don't you consider a job here?" So I did that. I was working in the library, and then recessed a little bit, and then I moved over into middle school emotional support.
Okay.
And
How did that shift come? Like, where did that come from?
Some of the people knew my backstory and they thought, hey, you know what, you're really good with these kids. They could use it. There's not a lot of men in education, and especially special education. So they want to give this a shot. And it turned out I was really good with the kids. And I grew up I had a lot of similarities to the way these kids grew up. And they seemed to respect that. So I just started doing that. And it was wholesome for me. It was very fulfilling.
Life, right?
Yeah. But I'm a very sensitive and emotional person. So I would bring all that home with me. And I just started to burn out after a while.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, maybe you should think about a different career. So I have a good friend. He was on here, Justin Heath.
He wasn't been on, but he
was supposed to be on. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought, okay. My mistake.
Anytime.
Sorry.
We've had a couple of your team.
Yeah,
on,
I know
not
we had
just
Pat and Andrea.
Pat and Andrea.
Yeah. They set the bar pretty high.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
I can't remember who else, but yeah, for
Either
sure.
way, Justin and I were having a conversation because I kept telling him how burnout I was. And he said, why don't you give this a shot? I think, you're a good talker, you're good with people, and why don't you give this a shot? And I did. And then for the first 7 months that I had my license, I was still working full time. Mm-hmm. So,
That's how most people do it, right?
Yeah, right. Until you were ready to do. And then after that last summer, I said, all right, I'm going to switch full time. And here we are, almost 2 years in.
Yeah, it's funny, like how I think we're connected through other people, obviously, in the industry, but when you put out your Instagram post, your empathy and your, you know, your people person, all the things that made you good at probably working with the kids really comes out. So I encourage everyone to follow it. It's like, it's very genuine. It's very like, oh, I could trust this guy like almost immediately. So
I appreciate
it's just like
that.
a cool thing to see, like someone jump into the industry and just like have that, just like that skill set that you can't teach. I was like, oh, this guy's cool.
That's right, because you never know how you come across, and most of us are our own worst critics. So I really appreciate hearing that. Thank you.
No, I think I told you that from the
You
beginning.
did, yeah, and I love that. I love hearing that.
Because there's so much cheesy stuff out there, and there's so much like stuff that is like produced and like.
I'm an organic person. Usually most of my videos are me in the backyard or in my car, and I'm a one take kind of guy.
Yeah.
I want you to see my mistakes. I'm not polished. I'm not writing a script. Like, this is just me here.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and even to go back to the school part of what you did. And so my girlfriend works at a behavioral health academy. So for like kids that get sent out of the regular school district, they get sent to her school. Hats off, because I could never. The stuff she comes home and tells me that she deals with, and what goes on with the kids and stuff, it's brutal, man. Like some of them are fine, and they just got caught, vaping in the bathroom or whatever, and then other ones are just, really have a tough life, and it's hard to see it. So
yeah, some of those kids that I worked with, they maybe they don't know their parents. They're raised by grandparents. They're in and out of rehab, whatever it may be, and they just need somebody there that can take their mind off of school for 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah, for sure. And now that you bring that up, I never even thought about it, but you're absolutely right. There aren't many male figures that you can go to, so having like a father figure like that must be very important to them.
Yeah, and it worked out great. And I just, like I said, I'm too sensitive for it to last. So it was really took me down for a while.
I can't even imagine anyone who gets into that field can just drop it at the door when they leave.
No, you can't. Oh God, you can't. I mean, it got to the point where sometimes I was sitting in my car crying at lunch twice a week, and I'm like, all right, maybe this isn't for me so much.
Yeah.
But it's a shame because I miss those kids. But
now you really can't take your work, or you can't leave your work at home because it just follows you everywhere now.
It's at home. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I even have my daughter come on showings with me now.
Do you really?
And actually have an oldest son. He's actually a realtor out in Seattle.
He was out West Coast, so.
Yeah.
Has he gotten into it recently?
Just recently. So he's still
cool.
not even, he's just dabbling right now. Just got his license. Yeah, 24, just trying to figure it all out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, I want to get back to the Navy, like, and what drew you to the Navy originally, or like,
I was one of those in high school. I wasn't really a sports guy. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I don't want to just go in and do blue collar work immediately. So I figured I'd try the Navy, something different. It's cool. I'm on submarines. I get to see different places. And like I said, we were stationed in Pearl Harbor. So at 18, that's pretty cool.
Not bad. Yeah. There's worse places to be.
Yeah, there's definitely worse places to be. So, I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. I have some pretty good stories from the Navy for sure.
And probably great friends and people that you've
Great
seen
friends,
with
people you'll never forget. Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool. He's a big military guy, like, background in military, family and military.
Yeah, I just know a lot about it. I was never in the military, but know a lot. So it's always interesting whenever somebody comes on. Like we had oh my God, why am I drawing
me like Bud's training the other day, like out of nowhere.
Oh my God.
Just like,
I love all that stuff. But who was on our podcast? Corey McDonald. That's who I'm thinking of. Corey was on, and he was. My girlfriend's from Albania, and he was stationed in Albania, and you don't meet many people that have like been there. So it's funny talking to him. He was like in the tanks and stuff, and it's always interesting. Everybody has a different story with the military.
It's funny you said that, though. My last client was from Albania.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I made her this big Albanian flag serving tray.
Yeah, double-headed
It's
eagle.
funny that you said that. Yeah, it's a really cool design.
Double-headed eagle.
Yeah.
That's a great segue. You also do like very cool like woodworking stuff, right?
I
Like,
do. That's very cathartic for me. It's something I really enjoy. I mainly do a lot of cornhole boards. That started, when COVID started and everybody had to be stuck home. So I started making cornhole boards, and that just blew up out of nowhere.
yeah.
So
all
that was pretty
through
cool.
the internet, all through.
Yeah, all on Instagram,
Instagram,
Facebook, stuff like that. Yeah.
Still got like the design for the double-headed eagle.
Oh, I have that.
All right. I'll talk to you. That'd be a nice little gift for them. That'd be cool.
So,
Yeah, I feel like the universe sometimes does that. Like you tend to work with Albanian people.
Well, yeah.
Not that they're connected to your girlfriend, you just like somehow.
Yeah, you attract them.
You put it out there in the
You
universe,
put it out there, and then
Yep.
I think once you like say one word to them in Albanian, they're like, "Oh, you're the homie now," So, and that's what ended up happening. So, it's funny.
There's been a couple people, and then realtors who are Albanian. I believe that you had a couple contacts.
Couple. So yeah, but just work. That's how life works,
Right.
And then you saying that, so it's funny.
that is
That's great.
So what did you do in like other than volunteering in that time, the 8 years that you were on disability? Like what I would go nuts. And you don't seem like someone who likes to sit still.
I don't. I'm your typical ADHD. I'm all over the place. So it was definitely an adjustment for sure. But I hate to say this, but there's people following you when you're on disability. So
Yep.
you really can't do much. You know,
Yeah.
you're kind of trapped in your house. But again, I also had 3 surgeries. I mean, like 21 injections. I had PT for all these years.
probably recovering
So
for a
I was recovering all the time from it. But no, you go crazy pretty fast.
Yeah, I can't imagine. But you had younger kids, obviously. at
Younger
that point.
kids,
Like,
yeah, they were a lot younger.
Did
I
you
think
feel like you got extra time with them because you were at home, or?
Well, not at first. For the first 2 years, I couldn't. My wife had to bring them to work. She owned an auto mechanic shop at the time, so she had to bring them. I mean, like I said, I was just coming off those 3 surgeries. I couldn't bend over to do diapers or anything like that.
Yeah.
So my wife had to do most of that for a while. But after that, yes, then I became Mr. Mom. You know, I was at
It's
the
like
playground.
talking to my dad right now, man. My dad's very almost exact way. He just never had any surgeries, but he fell off scaffolding. He was local union Philly carpenters and fell back issues for years, and he just went like crazy. And we had the same thing. Like PIs were sitting across the street watching us. And
Very unsettling.
Yeah, it was wild times. So. That's funny. And as soon as you said there's people that follow you, I'm like, oh yeah, I know. It's parts of your life you totally forget about until somebody brings it up. But yeah.
But then when I was able to get out of the house a little bit more, you know, I take the kids to the park and it's just me and all the moms, and you know, and then I became domesticated at that point. So my wife would, you know, take out the trash and do all the mowing, and I'm sitting inside doing dishes and laundry. But you know, it works for us. So
that's good. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
And then is that how you got being in the tile? You said you were a tile union.
Correct.
Is that what got you into woodworking, or is that just a hobby you picked up?
No, that was just something I did out of boredom. Somebody said, "Hey, do you think you can make something for me?" I'm like, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. And I'm pretty big on figure it out. You know, just get out there and work on it until you figure it out.
That's a union guy right there. Yeah. Do anything. You know what I mean?
So my kids are tired of hearing me say, "Figure it out. Stop asking." But I just something I liked and I enjoyed, and I was like, "Wow, this is really cool, and I can make some good extra money doing it."
That's great.
Especially with COVID, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that kind of brings me to one of the points that I wanted to bring up is that you have a background in the blue collar stuff, the tiles and the wood and all that stuff. So I imagine that's probably a little bit of a benefit or a bonus when you're showing your clients houses, like even especially these days where like inspections are being waived, you can kind of go through and like, you know, at least point out better than I could for sure.
I never like to tell anybody to waive an inspection unless, you know, it's a brand new house or you or your family's a contractor, something like that.
Yeah.
But once in a while, I'm comfortable enough saying, this house doesn't seem too bad for you. I mean, you could possibly overlook this, and this. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, there's always the caveat. You should do an inspection,
should.
but this is what I'm seeing.
Correct, right. Yes, exactly.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my dad does all my inspections on the houses I own. I never bought an inspection. I would just send him out. I'm like, go look at this. If you see anything, let me know. But he has. I mean, every time he's done it, we've only had a few issues where like something was missed, but it was very small. So
And even then, like if there are issues, he can probably handle it, or collectively you guys can probably handle it. And then you're also buying ones that you're fixing up already.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
not buying ones that you're.
I know I'm putting
leaving
money
in.
into them. So yeah.
It also leads me into sometimes I've made a couple videos for people to do things around the house. Yeah, a lot of times people think that you need to hire somebody for every last thing. So I've made a couple of videos like how to caulk a tub maybe, or how to change your doorknob. And I've actually had, it's usually women that reply like, wow, thank you so much. I didn't realize it was that easy. I can save money.
Figure it
doing
out.
Right. Figure it out. Right. It's not that hard. So, I mean, I truly love and enjoy helping people. So if I can make that.
That's like a great like niche area on Instagram that you could definitely grab a hold of. Like if you just have a tripod and like set a tripod up in your house and like, all right, here's how you do this and here's how you do it. I'm gonna have to watch these videos now.
Yeah,
that's
a couple on there.
Yeah, that's great.
I should be more consistent with them, but yeah, I'll start putting.
You're
them
like,
out.
when things have to be fixed at my house, I do them.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
You be having past clients call you like, hey, I know you need more content. Why don't you pop over to my house and fix the dishwasher?
Funny, 'cause just this weekend I stopped over a past client's house to help her change a doorknob, oddly enough. So, yeah, because that's why I'm like, just because we signed the contract doesn't mean we're finished. Yeah. If you need help, call me. I live right around the corner. I'll come and help you.
And it gives you extra touches on that client so they remember you in the past. Not only are you building a relationship further, but you're also staying in contact with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, referrals, anybody they think of, you know, to coming your way. That's great.
The hardest part is, I mean, that's why we all do Instagram and these, you know, email chains and stuff. It's like you got to just drip on people and make sure they're
that's so much easier
you.
for these younger guys.
I know.
It's so hard to stay consistent with it. You know,
It is, yeah, it really is. But like, I could show you after we get off the podcast. I'll show you a couple things that make it like super easy when you make a video. Just make it look like like nice or different, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just one of those things where you figure it out. Like when we first started the podcast, I was editing everything, like my own clips and stuff. And then as I was on Instagram and TikTok, like things were coming up. Now I have AI that edits all my clips together and everything. So you just find easier ways to do stuff.
Yeah, I need to learn that.
Yeah,
more
yeah,
cost
sure.
effective. Right?
Yeah,
like,
for
I think
sure.
You spend $20 a month on that AI thing, but it's like it saves you hours.
Oh,
right?
hours of work. Yeah,
totally
so.
worth. It's worth it for me because you pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, these look good, dude.
Yeah, these are great. He doesn't care. He's like, I don't care what they say on the clip. Just upload it and tag me in it. You're
Right,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, collaborate with me. So now you're with the Kind team
Correct.
of Real.
That's correct.
Did you start with Real?
Originally, we were at Compass,
Okay,
but
that's
we
what I thought.
switched, I think, 3 months after. But again, I was working full time, so I'm like, we're switching brokerage? I don't
Whatever.
even know what that
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
Okay, sure. Doesn't affect me at all.
How do you
but-
feel? I mean, I'm sure you're gonna say nice things about it, but have you seen any differences? How do you feel with the new team versus, or I'm sorry, not the new team, the new brokerage versus the old brokerage? It seems very like cool, like
It
Real
is.
seems
I don't-
cool, like technology driven, collaboration
It
driven.
is, definitely. I don't have anything to really compare it to. Like I said, I was only in that office, the Compass office, one time. So I don't have anything to compare it to. But it's definitely not what I expected when I walked into real estate. I'm like, I'm never going to fit in. Look at me. I'm, blue collar. I'm covered in tattoos. And then I come in, I'm like, wow, everybody's pretty cool here. Like, this isn't exactly what I thought. But no, Kind, this is a fantastic team. I mean, I really
fun
found
team,
my
yeah.
home here. It's important to have fun, but also to take things seriously. And, we got a great leader, Matt, at the helm here. So
Yep.
actually, he should be next. You got to get him.
I just said, I was like, oh, I should reach out to Matt.
Matt, when are you coming on?
We've Instagrammed a couple times, but then more recently, as I get to know more and more of your team, I've met him in person a couple more times, so I should reach out. But
Oh, it's a fantastic team. And, we're spread out from like Harleysville to Mount Airy. It's fantastic.
yeah, you guys have a good footprint for
Yeah.
Patrick's up in Doylestown, Bucks
Right.
County, and then Matt's like Montgomery,
Right.
Ambler, like all that.
Yeah, and I'm Happy Horsham.
Yep, and then you got Andrew down in Mount Airy, the
Yeah,
Philly exec.
exactly.
So it's like you
Got that new D-Town office too, right?
Oh, man. I was just there this weekend hanging up some art there. Oh,
Yeah.
That Doylestown
Patrick's
is
putting you to work, huh?
Since they opened it, that's all I'm doing is hanging TVs and piecing together furniture and
Hey, grassroots, you got to fit it.
right, yeah. But no, that Doylestown office that's a vibe there.
It's
a
cool-
very cool town.
Doylestown's cool, and you knew Patrick and Linda were going to put together a beautiful,
Oh, yeah.
cool space and everything. I'm probably going to pop over there on Wednesday because I think you guys have a team meeting.
Yeah.
I think so.
Have you been there yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
a couple
nice.
settlements
Nice.
there, and
Yeah, I saw you there once or twice. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that was like even before it was like properly all
right,
set,
yeah.
before you did all your work.
Before I did it all, right?
There's still chairs being delivered and everything. So, but it just seems like a very like forward-thinking, collaborative, newer way to handle real estate. Which,
Right.
I mean, it's got to be a better vibe than being cutthroat, like you against the next guy. Like we all have a lot to learn from everyone.
Yeah, we're not big on that as a team or individually. It's not really the competition. It's more of collaboration.
How do we all grow together?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny, like that you said, like, oh, I got tattoos. And my mother-in-law, we were down the shore this weekend, and we thought like a realtor was walking around our neighborhood, and she's like, oh yeah, he doesn't look like a realtor though. I'm like, what does a realtor look like?
Yeah.
Like, every one of my realtor partners looks different, acts different,
Right,
like has
yeah.
a different vibe. Like there's
Yeah.
no such thing as like the typical realtor,
Yeah.
especially these days. So
Some of like the most successful realtors I know, like they're not all inked up, but a lot of them have tattoos or they're, total. Some of them are gym rats. Some of them
wearing
do
t-shirts and jeans.
Yeah, t-shirts and jeans. Like they don't, it doesn't matter who you are as long as you're
wearing a
getting
navy
after
blue
it.
suit to your showings anymore.
No,
It's
yeah,
not.
and
Right.
and I mean a lot of the big teams in Philly, like they all wear suits, but I know a bunch of like even McCann. McCann's like in his 60s, I think, and he does, 250 push-ups. He bangs like that's his whole like niche thing is he does push-ups, and it's just nobody's some like super like clean cut
button-up
realtor
guy.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, and this industry, what pays off is working hard and treating
Right.
people right, and it doesn't matter
Correct.
what you look like. Who knows? That could attract one of your clients to you
Right.
rather than some guy who's buttoned up and
Right.
they'll maybe feel more comfortable with you because they relate to you. So
Yeah,
it's like,
that took me a little while to figure that out and get through it. But again, we're always our own worst critics. But
exactly.
I notice this helps with the younger generations, especially.
for sure. Yeah.
So I'm thinking the old saying, never trust a skinny chef. Maybe we do something like never trust a realtor in a suit.
Yeah, there you go.
that's
the new one.
perfect.
I think you need to do a video for that.
All right.
Yeah, who would
Collab
do
on that.
I would never show like a $400,000 home in a suit with people like who it would be weird,
Right.
but I'm sure people do it. But hey, shout out to
I mean,
them,
I have
guess.
younger sisters, and I've asked them and their friends. They're in their 20s, and they're like, "Oh, we don't really trust those people." They look like they're trying to get one over.
You're
on
relatable.
you.
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah, you're more a relatable person. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And do you have any, now you've been in it for 2 years, do you have any goals in real estate that you've set for yourself or anything you want to achieve or do or?
Well, I'd eventually like to invest myself. They always say it's the best investment you can make.
Yeah.
So for now, I'm still, as you know, we're in this very uncertain time. There's changes, obviously everything that just changed 2 days ago.
Yep.
So right now I'm focused on business and how to establish myself and my career. But the ultimate goal is to invest myself.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Good.
no, I say with your background and all the stuff that you can do in a home,
Right.
fixer upper is like,
Yeah.
that might not be as intimidating to you as it would be for someone else who doesn't have that
Right.
background.
Yeah, exactly.
So not only do you have the real estate, but you also got the, the construction and,
Right,
tiling
exactly.
all
And I always like a project to do. I get stale real fast, so I want to get out there. And
Yeah,
do something.
something to give you something to work on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
great. And would you want to do it in the Horsham area, or would you want to go outside of that?
I'd probably go outside or anywhere, honestly. But I'm a local. I've born and raised in Horsham. I've lived there 45 years. I work there. My kids go to school there. I just love the area. Now, obviously, if there's a good investment outside of it, I'm going to jump on that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I would like to start local. Yes,
That's great.
Well,
Nice.
especially with proximity to where you are. and,
Yeah, right.
Your resources. It's probably good to
Exactly.
start,
Right.
start
And
local.
a bunch of the people after living there forever. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Couple off-market deals.
Yeah.
see what happens,
Always working on something.
Perfect. You have anything else you want to touch on?
I think we're good. You good?
Pretty good, actually. You know how nervous I was in the beginning. Now I'm like, okay.
Told you, you're
Now
like, you're
we're
settled in.
I stopped sweating, so now I'm good now. Yeah.
I told you, it's like the first couple minutes,
Yeah.
you're like, and then you're like, oh, this is just a conversation.
Do you want to
Yeah.
do you want to try and do a win or no?
Yeah,
I
we
don't
should have
think
prepped you on this.
Yeah, we
Typically, what we
should've.
do is we'll do like a win at the end of the.
Okay.
So it could be anything: family, vacation, real estate win, whatever. So
Do you have a win?
yeah.
All right,
We
do
a
it.
win.
Yeah, show them
Yeah.
what's up.
I quote unquote went on vacation again this weekend. Quote unquote, just down the shore. Immediately got
Must be
busy
nice.
on Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, all that stuff. But it did feel good to be busy and got a house under contract, and I got like 3 or 4 other offers going in. So probably by the end of the week, we'll at least hear some good news from at least 1 or 2 of them. But
Nice.
so yeah, it's my win. It feels good to like see some results after working through the weekend.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
sure.
I like that.
Probably my win would be I'm leaving Wednesday.
I was gonna say,
Nice.
he's leaving for Greece, right?
Yeah. So I'm leaving there for on Wednesday, and then Saturday was nice. I took my dad had some like free time, so we went out and shot pool. He loves to like shooting pool with me, so went out shooting pool. Brought a friend of his, and we just went out for a couple hours. And he like texted me last night. He's like, "Dude, can we do this like once a month or once every other month
cool.
or something?" So
Nice.
it was cool. Yeah, that was very like fun and a good time. So,
I worked at a pool hall in my early 20s, and we do overnight. We close it down 2 a.m. Just bring your friends in.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Yeah.
Man, that's got to be a crazy culture.
Oh, it's awesome, especially when you're early 20s.
Oh, man, where was that?
In Warrington, across from the Target in Warrington, there was a billiards place there, forever. Now, nobody really plays anymore.
I mean, I know where the Target is, obviously.
yeah,
Directly across the street.
Oh,
That's
okay,
where it
cool.
is. Yeah, they just closed up, I think, about a year ago.
yeah. All the pool halls in Philly are like Northeast Philly, so we find like bars or local places. But up where I grew up in the Poconos, the closest nice place is Cigars International. So it's like a 2-story cigar place.
Wow.
And so we just go get cigars. It's it's disgustingly cheap to drink there. I probably shouldn't say that because they'll probably up the prices. But like
They're tuning into our podcast.
yeah, you think they're watching? Good point. But like 2 beers.
24 minutes in.
Yeah, two beers and a rum and Coke is like $14. So yeah.
Living in Philly, that's
Nothing.
unheard of.
Yeah. How about you? You got anything you can think of, or?
Well, actually, yeah, I have a pretty big win coming up. Next month is my 20th anniversary.
Nice.
So we're going to OBX, which none of us have ever been to.
We were texting back and forth about that. I'm a
Yeah.
big OBX proponent. Like,
Yes.
love OBX. So.
I'm gonna take a guess and say it's the Outer Banks.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so mellow. It's just like
Yeah,
get
that's
down
what I keep
there
hearing.
and there's nothing to do.
Yeah,
you're Corolla, right? Is where you're going?
Corolla, yeah. And
So-
we've never brought our dog on vacation. Most people don't allow it, but they're allowing this. So we ended up renting a minivan, so he could be a little bit more comfortable. But
Yeah,
so
you're gonna have
drive
a
down there,
blast.
do a week, and celebrate
Congrats.
20.
It's a big
Awesome.
deal.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
yeah,
man.
thank you.
Yeah, that's
Appreciate
huge.
that.
All right, we're good.
Yeah. Well,
All
thanks
right.
for
This was
watching.
awesome.
Do what's your Instagram handle?
JarrettGaeta.realtor.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
We'll put it in.
You guys will
we'll
put it
tag
down.
you. And all
Perfect.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
like
check
invite
them
you to
out.
collaborate, so it'll come up on our feeds and your feed too.
Oh,
so.
that's great.
Yeah.
Appreciate this, guys.
And
This was
got it.
awesome.
Tune in for house hacking tips, some inspiration,
Yeah.
some fun like you do like
and some
questions
randomness,
like,
yeah.
random questions,
Yeah.
and or just search the hashtag. Okay, so
Okay, so I know I got a little bit away from that. The kids have been, I still have a couple of kids that stay in contact with me. Like, hope you're not saying okay so anymore, Mr. G. I'm like, all right.
funny.
I'll get back to it.
Nice.
All right, cool. All right, well, thank you again for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
Happy
Yeah.
Friday.
Cheers.
And happy happy hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
Cheers.
Friday, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.